Morning guys. Well, as you can see, I'm all packed up. Yeah, like I say, I was fairly close to that footpath, which is just on that edge over there where it drops down over the cliff. There's a footpath there, and there's a footpath probably no more than about 60 metres that way. But as I say, I got here 7:30 last night, hung around for a little while, started pitching when the sun was going down. Actually saw one couple walking through along that footpath, but they didn't take any notice of me. And the time is now 7 o'clock. I've packed everything away. I've had some breakfast, I've had a coffee. Yeah, I'm all ready to rock and roll. So not too bad. Unfortunately, I seem to have lost a peg, and for the life of me I just cannot find it anywhere. It pinged out of one of the guy lines, and I hate leaving anything behind, but even the little luminous tag wasn't showing up in my torch last night, so I've searched and searched and I can't find it. Oh well, I've done my best. Now I do, I'm going to don my pack and get on my way. So I'll bring you back throughout the day. Speak to you soon. I think one of the best things that I find that when I'm walking and camping is that I do like to get away early, because then you can walk through sort of lovely woodland like this, especially this time of year, and it's so calming and peaceful. Well, other than the birds singing, but I call that peaceful anyway. There seem to be a lot of properties dashed about in the woods though. There we go. One thing I found about this walk, and like I say, I'm not a third of the way through it yet. I suppose it's just over a third. Signage has been very sporadic, so I'm not saying, as long as you know how to use a map and got a brain in your head, you should be okay. But yeah, there ain't a lot of signs. Okay people, just thought I'd share with you the peace and tranquility of early morning forest. He says the lack of signs, and then we come to this crossroads of paths, and there we go, Suffolk coast path, and we're also following the initial startings of the Sandlins walk. The Sandlins walk is a walk that goes from Ipswich up to Southwold, or Southwold back to Ipswich, whichever way you want to do it. And then there's a third which goes from Felixstowe around to Manningtree, following the estuaries of the Orwell and the Stour. And in a way you can link all three to make one quite large tour of Suffolk if you so wished. Okay. Enough of this peace and tranquility. I'll speak to you later. Peace and tranquility and abundance this morning. Walking across Dunwich Heath. Lovely moorland. Heather. Heathland I should say, not moorland, heathland. Just passed a couple of twitchers. Being extremely quiet. Didn't really want to ask what they was trying to see. But one had a lens on a camera was probably about as long as their arm. But then unfortunately, I don't know if you can see it here. I can't see it in the screen, the viewfinder. See if I can zoom in on it. That's about as far as I can get. I don't know if you can make that out, but Sizewell B nuclear power station in the distance. Nice big golf ball. But as I say, the peace and tranquility just walking across this heath. Beautiful. And doing it at this time of day, there's not many other people about. So makes it even better. Just come across this. It's like an embankment, and there's this rather strange little thing with a handle on it, which is just sort of like asking you to pull it. When I opened it up, it tells me that these mounds and ditches are named as shooting butts. They were used for practicing going over the top of the trenches during the World War. Which World War do you think they were used for? Well, more like it's definitely the First World War. So that was a training ground for those poor souls that just climbed over the top and got mowed down. So yeah, interesting what you find and on these places. Because I saw a sign earlier, a sort of wartime walk, and I wondered sort of like what that meant. And obviously there's some kind of trail. There's another one up here with a nice big letter 3. Smuggler's Trail in 1588. Well, you can read it. Because over there, as I say, you might not be able to see it, is the Sizewell B golf ball. In front of it is the bird sanctuary of Minsmere, and then just I can see the sea from here. So, and the sea's all round, so it's one of a series of beacons. Strange enough, I've just been reading a book by Edward Rutherford, I think it is, all about the New Forest, and one of the chapters there was talking about the beacons to let everyone know about the Spanish Armada. So yeah, his books are quite lengthy, but quite informative, and it mixes a bit of history along with a bit of fiction, so it makes it quite interesting. Okay people, be back on the coast soon, and then that slog along the sand and shingle. Speak to you soon. The path cuts in from the sea here to bypass Aldborough, and then we're going to walk up the River Ald towards Snape Maltings. Quite pleasant walking. The path is quite good path, and then you get little seats like this and there's a little inscription there. So thank you, Jew and Ron. Relax and enjoy. So all good. Okay. Footpath goes right across the golf course. So beware of balls being hit from the right. There's one ball right on the fairway there. So they're starting to walk down, so we should be fine. The building we just passed, which is this one here, is the Red House, which used to be the home of Benjamin Britten, where, according to the book, he died there in 1976 and is buried in Aldborough at St Peter and St Paul's. So, and where we're heading, Snape Maltings, there's actually a big concert hall there, and very often they hold concerts of music by Benjamin Britten. So lots of interest on this walk, I must admit. It's all different bits and pieces. Oh well, bring you back. There are a few people on this path. It's the path that comes up from Snape Maltings or Snape Village, and it's heading towards Aldborough, but I can't see that everyone would be going all the way. But looking at the map, there don't appear to be any sort of like round routes, you know, circular routes. So I don't know. But it's a pleasant enough day. I had to succumb earlier to taking my jumper off and changing out of my bottoms into a pair of shorts. It's getting quite warm. And I must admit, I had a very nice ice cream when I got to Falkness. Falkness? No, not Falk. Yeah, Falkness. I've had a quick look at the map and not really sure where I'm going to stop tonight, but something will turn up, as it did yesterday. Hopefully I won't have to go all the way to the beach, because that would be probably 25 miles today. So we'll see. According to the sign, Snape Maltings are 2 miles away, so not too bad. This walk is also what they call the Smuggler's Way. Apparently it's quite an ancient path between Aldborough and Snape. So yeah. Much more pleasant. This is the Tunstall Forest. Yeah, the footpath I've been following has gone past 3 fields of pigs, so you can imagine what the smell was like. So plus it was in full sun as well, so this being in the shade, although it looks like we're coming out of the shade fairly shortly, but this is far better. Now normally I'd be looking maybe for a place to pitch up, but it's only 3:30, so I want to get a few more miles in yet. Okay people, out in the sunshine, I'll bring you back later. Okay people, yeah, I finished a little bit earlier tonight. I came across this little spot, this little woodland. It is very close to the track. The track is literally just behind that tree there, that big tree. And but I've been sitting here since about 5:30. It's now 20 to 8. I've done just over 21 miles today. But the trouble was that the next few miles are along footpaths by the sides of the river, and unfortunately, notoriously, there's never anywhere to camp there. So I thought, right, okay, nice little spot here. This will do. 21 miles is enough. It just leaves me 15 to do for tomorrow to finish, which ain't bad at all, seeing as I originally planned to do this trip in 4 days, and I should have it all done and dusted probably by early afternoon tomorrow of the 3rd day. So I'm quite happy with that. My setup again tonight is I'm using the tent I'm using is a Lanshan 1 Plus. I looked at the Lanshan Pro because of the weight factor, but this is actually only about 150 grams heavier. Still comes in under a kilogram. I was really worried about the condensation with the Lanshan 1 Pro because it's a single skin, and I think I'm justified because the condensation on this this morning was quite bad. And you can see the amount of space there is, and it's all mesh. The inner tent's all mesh, so therefore there should have been plenty of airflow. So yeah, we'll see. Okay people, well that's me set up for tonight. To be honest with you, as soon as that sun goes down, I'm jumping into me pit. Feeling quite tired. I'm going to set the alarm on my phone to go off really quite early tomorrow. My biggest problem is the last little village I came through. There was a pub, but unfortunately it was closed. My intention was to either get something to eat there and get them to fill up my water for me. So I've got very little water. I've got a few biscuits, so I'm going to have those for something to eat tonight. And the biggest problem is look, if you look at the guidebook, it tells me that the next place I can get any sort of refreshments is at Felixstowe, which is at the end of the route. So I've got to try and eke out the little bit of water I've got to last the 15 miles. Unless I come across a cottage and some friendly person will fill up the bottle for me. But we'll see. Okay people, I'll say good night. End of day 2. Another long day. That's about 44 miles completed so far. So averaging 22 miles a day I'm happy with. So yeah, and 15 to finish tomorrow. So yeah, okay. Bring you back in the morning.